Okay, so welcome to our Thinking Circle. And obviously, I need to mute everybody so that we won't have any disturbance. And so I thought the topic today on anger and how to manage anger. I think ये बहुत ही important topic है because हम सबको गुस्सा आता है. But गुस्से को कैसे manage करना और what are the signs that you are angry? So I thought we should talk a little bit on anger today. So I'd like you all to have a paper and a pen with you. It will just help us to, um, make the session much more interesting. तो अगर आपके पास पेपर पेंसिल हो सकता है तो it will be a great thing. I'm also going to share like a checklist, not a checklist, but like a worksheet with the group. And Shakuntala, you need to tell me how do I share it in the chat?
There is an option down.
Okay, when I open the chat, there will be an option.
Yes.
Uh,
That 3 dots, na?
हाँ अच्छा 3 dots के वहाँ पे ओके
Yes.
वहाँ तो पार्टिसिपेंट है वहाँ पे
Yes.
यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है ड्रॉपबॉक्स माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड ड्राइव गूगल ड्राइव माइक्रोसॉफ्ट शेयर पॉइंट योर कंप्यूटर ओके फाइन ठीक है योर कंप्यूटर पे क्लिक करके आई कैन शेयर द फाइल
Okay, okay. Okay, okay.
I'm just asking you how to do it.
Ma'am, I think when this is here only when you chat and then there is that document sort of sign.
करेक्ट करेक्ट हाँ
Yes.
वो मैं कर लूँगी मैंने देख लिया वो
Yeah, हाँ.
हाँ ठीक है ओके so I'm going to share this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, can you all see the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's just
now full.
start. Okay, so anger management is our topic today. And Shakuntala ji thoda alert रहना for people to
Yes,
pick up.
yes.
So how is everybody feeling today? I've put some on the chart, a lot of faces. You can have a look and say how are you feeling today. आप अपने chat पे भी डाल सकते हैं. How are you all feeling today? Each one of you. Can you all put something on the chat? And there are lots of things that are mentioned here, how you may be feeling. You can have a look at it and notice how you each one exhausted. Aratna ne likha hai she's feeling exhausted. Asha ji is feeling good, she's feeling great. Smita ji is feeling cheerful. Meenu is feeling relaxed. Happy. Sunita, Varsha, everybody is feeling happy. Anshu is also feeling happy. So Nanda is great. Shakuntala ji is contented, loved, better. Okay, good. Dipti is saying good. So the first thing that we need to identify with daily, on a daily basis, every day when you wake up in the morning, after you have your tea and after you have a bath and you're ready to go to work or you're ready to do housework, it's very good to ask yourself this question: how am I feeling today? Because it's a great idea to get in touch with your feelings early in the morning. Generally, आपने देखा होगा that you get in touch with the feelings either during midday or by the end of the day. Generally, in the morning when you wake up, either you've got out the wrong side of the bed and you're really feeling upset. It's great to identify your feelings in the morning because then you can work with that feeling through the day. Any of these feelings will eventually lead to either some kind of agitation. You may become a little bit irritated. You may feel exhausted, but eventually it's all to do with anger. अगर आपको irritation भी हो रही है, that is actually the anger is behind that sense of irritation. You have not burst like a volcano, but you may burst like a volcano. So it's great to identify your feeling daily in the morning. You can have this chart. This chart is from the internet. You can download this chart and keep it on your DP. मैं DP पे उस chart को रखिए. Every morning you get up, look at the chart and say, okay, how am I feeling today? Maybe at 10, 9:30, 10 before you go to work, right? And then you identify again midday, 12, 1, 2 afternoon में, because दिन kind of निकल गया है. तो आप पूछ सकते, again chart को खोलिए and have a look and say, okay, how am I feeling now at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon? And then in the evening again. It's like you are going to calibrate your emotions through the day so that you avoid getting angry. There is no point in getting angry and then dealing with the anger, right? But we're going to talk about it today. But it's a great idea to do this every day, as a routine so that you can deal with your anger easily. Now, what is anger? Can anybody tell me what is anger? Gussa kya hai? What is anger? If you can define anger, yeah.
When your expectation doesn't get fulfilled, or from someone or some expectations of your own, and you don't
Correct.
see it happening the way you want it to happen.
Correct. When things don't go your way, whether it's people, situations, circumstances, events, you can get angry. Correct? Absolutely right. Anybody else can tell me what is anger? Because anger is your own personal experience. आप दूसरों को भी देख के आपको कई बार पता चलता है कि गुस्सा क्या है. But in your own personal experience, anybody else would like to say?
Then, according to me, it can be emotion.
It can be an emotion, yeah. And what happens when you have that kind of emotion?
Emotion when some people feel like we stuck in some situation or frustrated, or like things are not going according to them.
Correct. So it can be a stuck feeling.
And irritation, and maybe
correct.
maybe you feel like little warm, and maybe BP may rise.
Correct. These are the symptoms of anger. Yeah. But
Ma'am,
anger is, ji,
yes, and ma'am, for me it is a strong feeling of this kind of a displeasure on opposition to an insult or an injury or injustice.
Very good. So anger is generally a feeling of displeasure. जो चीज मेरे हिसाब से नहीं जा रही, चाहे वो सिचुएशन हो, इवेंट हो, सर्कमस्टेंसेस हो, हेल्थ भी कई बार जब हम डाउन एंड आउट होते हैं, बेसिकली आई एम नॉट इन अ फीलिंग ऑफ प्लेजर, आई एम इन अ फीलिंग ऑफ डिस्प्लेजर ऑफ सम काइंड. ओके, and this can lead to anger. Now there are, like you said, the anger leads to responses. There can be physical responses to anger, there can be emotional responses to anger. Now we need to recognize the cues. गुस्सा होने से पहले जो हमारे साथ हो रहा है फिजिकली एंड इमोशनली, अगर हम उस चीज को रिकॉग्नाइज करें तो शायद हम उसके साथ डील कर सकते हैं और गुस्सा शायद हमें आएगा ही नहीं, ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So Shakuntala ji, you were saying physical response to anger. Before you actually get angry, what things happen to you? Irritation,
Irritations and uneasy feeling. Thoughts का लूप कुछ ज्यादा ही चलने लगता है.
हाँ, एक थोड़ा
ओवर ही नहीं है, बस. हाँ,
Overthinking gets a little tight.
और क्या होता है?
Even if you
breathlessness.
Sorry?
Breathlessness.
आपकी breath can change. Breathlessness can happen later, but initially your breath can start changing. What else can happen?
Skin feels a little tighter.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure, yeah. Suddenly you feel your heart rate is increasing, right? What else?
It shows that physically, I mean, after getting angry for a long time, it's suppressed emotion as well. So it can remain in your body and it can come out in different ways in your body.
Like what can happen?
Pain,
Let's talk
anywhere.
anger. Pain, yeah.
Okay.
Physical pain. It can
Physical
lead
pain.
to some physical pain. Generally, you will feel a contraction.
Tautness of body.
Pain,
Tautness, correct.
cramps,
Tautness of body can be felt also.
cramps also.
स्वेटिंग भी होती है कई लोगों को, एक्सेसिव स्वेटिंग होनी स्टार्ट हो जाती है. और क्या होता है?
Cramps भी आ सकते हैं.
Rush of blood.
Rush of energy. Yeah, your face tends to become red. है ना, स्किन के अंदर there is a rush of blood and so your face also tends to become red. कई बार इंसान बोलता नहीं कि मैं गुस्से में हूं, पर आपको पता चल जाता है कि इसको गुस्सा आ रहा है, right? So that can happen. Twitching, muscle twitching भी होती है कई लोगों को, facial muscle twitching होती है. Then your hands, you know, some people tend to become kind of fidgety.
Clenched fist.
Tension. Tensed.
Fist भी कई बार clenched हो जाती है. So
clenched teeth.
Very good, very good. दांत, you know, clenched हो जाते हैं. Very nice. People sulk, right? Sulking, pouting. ऐसे करके बच्चा बैठ जाता है, तो you know that the person is angry, right?
Ma'am, hot-tempered also. You feel very hot-tempered.
Heat. So these are
And sometimes you can go very quiet too.
They tend to withdraw. These are अभी हमने जो बोला है, these are all the physical responses to anger. Now let us look at the emotional cues to anger. When do you think we get angry? When emotionally, either we are feeling depressed, we are feeling guilty. What else? When else do we get angry emotionally? कौन से cues है हमारे पास?
Trauma, if you're going through a trauma as well.
Yeah, if you go. So what exact trauma? Can you specify? What kind of trauma can make you angry?
Death.
Yeah, okay. So
Helplessness.
Loss.
Ma'am, betrayal.
Behavior.
Betrayal.
Abusive.
Very good. Yes.
Disappointment.
Behavior.
Disappointment. Very good.
Helplessness.
Helplessness. Yes.
What about righteous anger?
Yeah, righteous anger. But I am right. You know, the others are wrong, or I didn't do anything wrong. And you get
Imposition. Yeah.
But what about if somebody is doing something wrong, like somebody is attacking you or being rude to you, and you feel anger? So does that count?
That is behavior.
Yeah, so that is also one reason why you can get angry. Anger is not always bad, right? So you can have anger, somebody is actually hitting you and you tend to get angry, right?
Like
So
domestic
that is
violence.
also anger, domestic violence. I'm asking you some of the emotional cues. So when you feel powerless, when you have a sense of loss, when you feel threatened, when you feel ashamed, when you feel embarrassed, when you feel like running away, you know, you want to run away from a situation, you feel resentful, bitter,
you feel
like
cheated.
hurting others, you feel cheated, correct? You feel like hurting others and you feel like hurting self. So these are the various emotional cues that you should recognize. Oh God, I'm feeling powerless. That is why I started out with the chart, with the emotional chart. So in a day, thrice in a day, if you just map yourself, map your emotion, you will find out what are these various emotional cues that are taking place or the responses that you're having, and will it lead to anger? You can just stop and deal with the helplessness, deal with hurt, deal with pain, deal with powerlessness, so that you don't get angry, you don't have a blast. This is very important. Okay. Now, what happens when you are angry? How do we express anger? So now we know the physical cues and we know the emotional cues. Now, how do we express anger?
The tone changes.
So we express it through our
Verbal.
words, verbally. Yeah, so verbal
You start
expression.
shouting.
What is there? Shouting. What else? Come on.
Yelling, shouting.
Yelling.
Physical.
Think.
Physically.
What else happens? Come on.
Certain people
Withdrawing yourself also.
Withdraw.
Become quiet.
Becoming silent.
Yeah.
Giving silent treatment to people.
Yeah. Chup ho jana. Not talk to anybody. Correct. What else? Come on.
You become very physical. A lot of time you slap someone out of anger.
You
Physical
actually
violence.
slap the opposite person. You get violent, right? Sarcastic. You sometimes become very sarcastic.
Correct, correct.
You know, आप मारते पीटते नहीं है, but आप बड़ी sarcasm से बात करेंगे, right? Abusive language. People use a lot of abusive words. That is also one of the signs that they are getting angry. They may have a discussion, like a argument with somebody verbally.
They become non-compliant.
They become non-compliant. Correct. I'm not going to listen to you. Right? Forget it. That kind of thing. And of course, people start crying also when they are angry.
Yeah.
Not always that they shout and yell. Sometimes you just have a response where you start crying. You know, you're feeling so upset.
और
Right?
मैं कैकई की तरह कोप भवन में जाके
And you have to draw.
And you become stubborn also at times.
Yeah, you become stubborn. Then, you know, people tend to glare also. कुछ बोलेंगे नहीं, but ऐसे ना stare करेंगे, glare करेंगे. ऐसे बच्चों के सामने हम करते हैं. You know, we don't want children to do something wrong, then we glare at them. Right? We also tend to walk a lot. Have you noticed some people? Some
Yes.
people pace around. उनको कुछ बोलना है पर बोल नहीं पाते हैं, तो they will move around. You know, move around the house, move around the rooms, right? Agitated.
And you become more fidgeted also.
Fidgety हो जा. कई लोग फेंकते भी है चीजों को. Throw things.
Many people have a nervous tick that they keep repeating every time they are angry.
Very good. They tend to repeat the same thing again and again. And we say, "Hey, got it," but they can't stop. Right? They just tend to repeat it again and again, throwing, fighting, withdrawing. Some people tend to write. जब गुस्सा आता है उनको, तो जाके लिखते हैं. You know, they write because they can't express it verbally. So some people could also express it non-verbally.
Some people might threat also, like they show tantrums or maybe threaten the other person.
Correct. Temper tantrums भी throw कर सकते हैं, जैसे बच्चे करते हैं in a mall. You know, I want this, and they'll lie down on the floor, they'll embarrass everybody, right? And they are not bothered, right? They just want to express their anger. So there are so many ways in which we physically and emotionally express our anger. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Please write down how you express your anger. आप अपना गुस्सा कैसे express करते हैं? Generally, how do you express your anger?
Ma, I can share.
No, we'll share a little later. Okay? Lakshmi, hold on to it. And I'll ask you all and you share, okay? Hold on. Just hold on.
Okay.
Let's finish this slide, okay?
Okay, ma.
Okay. And do you recognize the cue prior to this expression, which you don't possibly look at? That is why you express. Do you feel that you do have either a physical symptom or you have a emotional symptom that you don't recognize, and without that you just start getting angry? You feel powerless, but you don't recognize it. You feel that your heart rate is going up, but you don't recognize it. You feel that your palms are sweaty, but you don't recognize it. You feel your muscles have contracted, but you don't recognize. You're not aware. Only an unaware person will become angry. An aware person will not become angry. So if there is an emotional feeling that you have been coping with for quite some time, feel like running away, feeling resentful with a particular situation or a person. You're hurting inside, but you just suppressed it so much. And so you're not dealing with that. And so maybe you're getting angry often. So just recognize how you're getting angry and what is making you angry. So both these things you need to recognize that they are linked together. कई बार हम कोई सिचुएशन का कुछ करते नहीं है. We feel it will just, disappear one fine day. Or we don't do anything about a particular relationship with a person. We just hope that this person will change one day. But that does not happen. Situations don't just disappear. They may transform into something else, but they don't disappear. The person, some people don't change. And there are people who will tell you, I'm not going to change. They'll actually tell you, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ. मैं बदलने वाला नहीं हूँ. And then that makes you angry. Correct? So in the hope that that person changes, you don't do things about yourself. आप अपने इमोशंस के साथ डील नहीं करते. आप सोचते हैं कि वो अपने इमोशंस के साथ डील करे तो सिचुएशन बेहतर हो जाएगी. तो वैसा कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. Correct? Now, once you've understood and recognized this, let's look at the frequency of anger. On a scale of 1 to 10, or rather, let's say 1 to 10, how frequently do you get angry in a week? Write the number. How frequently do you get angry in a week? Write the number on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 या 10, कितना गुस्सा आता है आपको हफ्ते में? ये आप एक frequency. Let's map your frequency. On a scale of 1 to 5, what is your intensity of anger? Where 1 is not at all intense, you're calm, and 5 is you're extremely intense. On a scale of 1 to 5, what is your intensity of anger? Map kariye. Spontaneously likhna hai aapko. Duration. How long does the anger last? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an entire day, days, or for a few seconds? How long does your anger last? I have to deal with my anger. Anger management के लिए ये चीजें बहुत important है. अपने आप को जानना. And expression. Expression तो आपने already लिखा हुआ है कि कैसे आप express करते हैं. So there are these 4 parameters. Anger management classes जब हम लेते हैं तो हम ये 4 parameters के ऊपर ध्यान देते हैं. Frequency, intensity, duration, and expression. These 4 things you must know about yourself. So everybody's understood this? Likha sabne? Are you mapping it? Frequency 1 to 10, intensity 1 to 5 के बीच में, how intense is your anger? Duration, how much does the anger last? That is very important because anger management किसको चाहिए? जिसका anger का duration बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, right? हल्का सा फुल्का सा anger है आपका, वो settle भी हो जाता है, then you forget about it also and then everything goes on. पर अगर वो
Ma'am, sometimes
frequency in the day is a lot, you're getting angry 5 times in a day, then you need anger management.
What is the 4th one? It's frequency, intensity, duration, and
expression. How do you?
Ma'am, sometimes it happens that you get angry instantly, and it just lasts for like, you get very angry and it just lasts for 2-3 minutes.
Correct.
And then you start feeling guilty.
And that guilt will lead to anger again in the day.
Sometimes you're angry about others, and then when you start feeling guilty, you're angry about yourself.
You see, you may have guilt in the first bout of anger. The second time in the afternoon, you will have anger for something else, not for the same thing. Then it continues. So in the day, if your frequency is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times in a day, suppose
then need.
It may be 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is. But the frequency indicates that your heart rate, your physical symptoms, your bodily reactions, that means your body is becoming tensed 5 times in a day. That's not healthy. So don't just say, I'm getting angry for a few seconds, but how often are you getting angry in a day? That
You'll have to count the side effects also of anger.
That many times your physical body is going under stress.
Yes.
तो ये हमें ध्यान रखना है कि मैं तो ऐसे ही गुस्सा करती हूँ, अरे पर 5 बार 10 बार दिन में गुस्सा करती है, अलग अलग, for different situations with different people. But look what you're doing to your physical body, and look what you're doing to your physical mind, your emotional mind. It is getting imbalanced, no? So this is important, okay? Frequency, intensity, duration and expression. Expression में किस तरह से आपने देखा होगा that sometimes in the morning you have just little bit of expression, stop it, yeah, please, please, please. By the time it is afternoon, your expression is changed. It's maybe a little bit more harsh. By the time it is evening, it is harsher. Why? Because your body is not getting back to normal. Correct? The intensity in the first bout of anger was possibly 2. The intensity in the second bout of anger could have been 4. That means your body is under tension. Third bout of anger could be 8. So because the body is not coming back to it's not coming back to neutral, no? Like a CT, no? Pressure cooker ki CT is blasted, right? And everything goes down, and then the whole day goes well, then you forget it. Then your body recovers. There is also recovery time. Sharir ka apna ek recovery time hai. And everybody's recovery time could be different because everybody is carrying different kind of emotional history. Understood? Not that everybody's recovery time is the same. Because of our own personal emotional history with a particular person or a situation, also it is going to impact, because my anger is subsided. But in my mind, I could be thinking about that person. And the duration, is more. And then suddenly in the afternoon, again, I blast because my mind hasn't come back to a neutral level, nor has my physical body recovered completely. Now, I want you to locate your stress angle. So what is your stress angle? Time, generally 3 होता है. अब जो भी चीज़ें आपके सिचुएशन में नहीं जा रही है ठीक, ये 3 में आप लग सकते हैं. Time, money and relationships. What is the cause of your stress or anger? Is it time? मेरे पास वक्त नहीं है, मुझे इतना सारा काम करना पड़ रहा है. Time is also resource. The biggest resource in our life is time, remember. अगर मेरे पास वक्त है तो मैं बहुत कुछ कर सकती हूँ. मेरे पास वक्त नहीं है तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती. Right? तो time नहीं है मेरे पास. Do you feel pressurized because you have a lot to do and you don't have time? Or you feel I have a lot of time but I'm doing nothing? That can also lead to stress. Correct? मेरे पास बहुत टाइम है पर मैं कुछ करती नहीं, वो भी stressful है. So that can also lead to stress. At the end of the day, you feel, yeah, क्या दिन ऐसे ही बीत गया, purposeless. That also can lead to stress. That also can lead to anger, disappointment, bitterness, resentfulness. ये सब चीजें हो सकती है. Money, पैसा. I want to buy this, I want to buy that. I don't have money for this. बच्चों की schooling, college education, savings, new car, I have to buy loans. Loans से मुझे loans चुकानी है. Money can also be a stress because your desires either are skyrocketing, there are too many desires and less resource, material resource. That can also be a problem. and relationships. स्मिता ने जैसे स्टार्टिंग में कहा कि एक्सपेक्टेशन किससे होती है? हमारी लोगों से ही तो एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती है ना. तो रिलेशनशिप. सो लोकेट विच इज योर स्ट्रेस एंगल. आपका कौन सा स्ट्रेस एंगल सबसे ज्यादा है? रिलेशनशिप रिलेटेड है, मनी रिलेटेड है, टाइम रिलेटेड है, या फिर ऑल थ्री? दैट कैन आल्सो, और टू, व्हाटएवर. Okay, so please write down what is your stress angle. Now, as we have just said, there are numerous feelings that can be connected, and anger can cover a lot of these feelings. There can be embarrassment, insecurity, fear, hurt, rejection, pain, and many others. I think you've already written the feelings. Have you all written the feelings already? Huh? If not, then you can just write the feelings. Anger covers which feeling? Which feeling is the most dominant feeling when you get angry?
What do you mean by that? Anger covers which feeling? Because anger is a feeling, no?
No. Anger itself is a feeling, but I'm angry because of something. Anger is like the nichod. मेरे अंदर गिल्ट है. Anger is more a behavior. An angry behavior. I'm showing anger. But behind that anger, there is some feeling which has led to the anger. Anger अपने आप नहीं आता. फिर हम क्यों गुस्सा करेंगे किसी के ऊपर? Anger is a behavior. I want to change my behavior. I can manage anger because it's a behavior, isn't it? Anger management. इसका मतलब एक बिहेवियर है जिसको मैं मैनेज कर सकती हूँ. बट एंगर के पीछे क्या है? Why am I angry? Hurt. So right, what is that feeling that you, like I said, मैंने जब start किया मैंने क्या कहा? That chart is of feelings. अगर हम फीलिंग को मैनेज करें तो हमें एंगर दिखाने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़े. Correct? No. All right.
I'd like a clarification.
Huh?
Okay. I don't know if this is anger or not to begin with, but supposing you're working and you are like, in the middle of things, and there are people around you and they are not keeping up with the program, and they do something stupid, which hampers the workflow or whatever. I tend to do that. They do something stupid, and then I like blow up, and I get all poetic, and I might maybe quote a line of a poetry and say that, which essentially ends up meaning that you're an idiot.
Correct.
And I'll blast, and that will last maybe 30 seconds.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, in fact, I did that right now while we were talking. I asked my son, was I angry today? And he's like, yeah, you were angry today. I was like, when? And I did not even remember it.
Correct.
I had to ask him, kab hua tha? Like, when did I do that? You remember that we were doing this and you did, and then you blasted us 30 seconds.
Correct.
And I literally don't remember that. So is that actual anger or is it something else?
It is anger. You are unaware. Now you gave me an example of they're stupid. Okay. Now anger can also come from a belief related to people. Right? So if I'm working in an office and I generally have this idea that people here in the office are just stupid people, and I have to really do all the hard work, and whatever I tell them, they just don't follow, then my anger is arising because of my belief that people don't get it, people are stupid, right? It's coming from that belief. So it's the belief that needs to change, then anger will not come. Now you are unaware. Your son had to say, yes, you got angry. You don't even remember when you got angry. Why? Because possibly, you are not paying attention to your emotions and your beliefs.
Okay.
So what is happening is you feel that, so what? I mean, if I gave such a response, they actually deserve it.
Yeah, that is what I usually end up feeling.
Right. So when you say that, so what if they deserve the response, but what you are not understanding or what we don't understand is that it is actually harming us.
Yeah, but I'm not holding a grudge or even remembering it. So does that still affect me?
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. You are unaware. You have to deal with the belief and the emotions, and then if you start dealing with it, a lot of layers will start opening. And then when those layers start opening, there'll be so much coming out, so much anger actually will start coming out that you may have stored. See, how is anger coming out? Let's look at it in a logical manner. If it is not there, will it come out? No, correct? That means I have a container in my mind that is stored this anger, and so whenever my belief gets challenged, a little bit of the anger comes out. It's already there. If it's hurt, it's disappointment, it's rejection, it is already there. Not that it is not there, because what is not there cannot come out. Correct? Zora, have you understood?
So I have this very firm belief that, you know, when you're working, you should be productive and everything should be, you know, to aid the productivity.
So
if somebody is like shirking off or not doing something right,
correct. Now that's your belief.
I feel that they are like betraying the cause, you can say.
No, better. That belief comes from your driver, be perfect. You are a perfect person and you are expecting perfection from others.
Okay.
Now that belief itself is a problem. So you are so tensed about not making a mistake yourself.
Okay.
So what you do is when you make an error, suppose you make an error, do you ever make a mistake?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So others are also making mistake sometimes. Yeah. So if I'm making a mistake, like you said, all the time, and others are making a mistake sometimes, why can't I just, you know, accept that, okay, it's a mistake, and let me just teach this guy what to do. But,
yeah, but is calling them out on their mistake a wrong thing?
You're paying that. See, there are many things here. You're paying this person, he's on a salary, he's expected to work because he's coming to work. So what happens is when you label people as workers, as engineers, as doctors, then you say then they have to do their job. They're getting paid for it. So
no, I never get angry with my staff, only with my children. I don't think it's right to get angry on your staff because, you know.
Then if you're getting angry, right. If you're getting angry with your children.
Yeah, because they're working with me. So, I mean, I deserve, I expect better from them, I guess.
You're expecting perfection from them. Like they cannot make an error. That's coming from your driver, be perfect. You have to ease out. You have to ease out a little. Yeah, ease out a little. That's not going to help you. Okay. Now let's move to, yeah, sorry, go on.
Just, you know, when you tell a person the same thing over and over again, and I get fed up.
Maybe the way you are telling that person is not getting communicated to that person. See, if I'm talking to a 5-year-old, I will have to talk to a 5-year-old. If I'm talking to a 50-year-old, but he's like a 5-year-old, then I have to talk to a 5-year-old.
But the same thing is Roj ki baat hai with my husband. Roj ki baat hai, and we get in an argument.
Just like maid hoti hai, you know, like a helper that comes. Like today, I remember my maid, you know, she finished, I was busy. She finished the utensils and she forgot to, you know, turn off the bathroom tap. She had cleaned the bathroom, but she forgot to turn the bathroom tap and she left and I was on my, on a call. And so, you know, I just said, okay, bye-bye. And she left. And then when I went in the kitchen, I could hear that the pani ja raha hai kahin se, the bathroom tap was on. I just went and, you know, turned off the bathroom tap. She's human, right? She can forget and she can make mistakes, right? So similarly, there can be a human being living with you who is a forgetful person. Now, what do? You that person is telling you, no, oh, मैं भूल गया, or मुझे ध्यान में नहीं रहा. It is possible that the person is a forgetful person. Now, I want the person to be perfect. The problem is that we want everyone to be like us, but we are not too great ourselves. But we expect others should be proper. So it comes from our expectation that others, when I tell them once, they should listen to it. Now, what happens?
So that's a belief, no?
That's a
That's
belief.
a belief.
That's a belief. If that 50-year-old is slowly going deaf, let's say, but you don't know he's going deaf, it's possible, right? Then you have to repeat things to that person. Like my husband, okay, when he's in the kitchen and pankha agar on hai, suppose I'm in the hall and the fan is on and I'm telling him something, he will immediately say, I can't hear because the fan is on. So, because he told this to me twice or thrice, I understood this pankha on hai, I better go to the kitchen and tell him. Right? So, what I'm saying is, if I'm aware, then I will act accordingly. That is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Now let's go ahead to understand about cognitive dissonance and restructuring. What actually causes anger? Okay, let's understand it in a very psychological manner. Now, the first thing that I mentioned here is overestimation and underestimation. You know, there is something called Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. If anything can go wrong, it will. There's a probability that things will not go right. Am I right? There is always a probability, a hidden probability, that things will not go right. I have to consider that probability. Whenever I'm doing something, I will have to consider that it is possible that things will not go right and anything can go wrong. Am I right? So the key is, moment I consider that there is a probability of a negative outcome, I will bring forth my personal coping skills. I will become aware that yes, things can go wrong. So let me bring forth my personal coping skills so that I can cope with that situation. Correct? Now, if we start thinking like this, then whatever things go wrong, I'm ready with the solution. Like today, we had a speaker and he messaged me. He didn't see my message. He messaged me nearly at 5 o'clock or I don't know, 5:15 and said he's not well. He won't be able to come. I said, okay, now you just take rest. And within a second, I decided, I think I need to take a class on anger management. I don't know how that topic also came to my mind, but it just came to me. And I said, okay, chalo. I didn't have anything. I said, let me prepare a PPT. Let me spend 2 hours doing this. Meanwhile, I had a session which I had to cancel at 6 o'clock. Because this was more important. I told her we'll meet another day.
So PPT is so nice. Like, I just like that umbrella picture.
So I'm fortunate because I have so many notes, right, of so many years. So I just pulled out the anger management notes and I said, okay, let me just see what I can make quickly, right? So resource, जैसे मैंने क्या कहा, टाइम सबसे बड़ा रिसोर्स है हमारे पास. मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ, right? Build your resources. Don't waste your time. अगर आपके पास टाइम है, अपने रिसोर्सेज को बढ़ाते रहिए. Save things, look at documents which are there on the internet, something interesting, okay, save it. You know, save it for a rainy day, कहते हैं ना? So this is what I do all the time, okay? So the key is, things can go wrong and they will. Are we ready? If we are ready, anger will not come. कभी भी गुस्सा नहीं आएगा आपको. Correct? Second, जो मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे, misattributions and single explanations. Some people have what we call singular thinking. They jump to conclusions. आपने देखा है?
Yes.
They don't investigate. They just jump to conclusions.
Yes, all the time.
Right? So when you jump to conclusions, what happened? You have missed out on possibilities. And you are only focused on that singular thought. Bas. Why could this happen to me? Why this happened to me? Why all these bad things happen to me only? You've jumped to conclusion that all bad things happen to me. Finished. Correct. So when I jump to such a conclusion, it is called singular thought. Singular thinking bolte hai isko. When you have singular thinking, you will think of injustice. Always remember this. Whenever you have singular thinking, you will always have the thought of injustice. Or you will have malice, hateful thoughts. And you can't exercise restraint. जब singular thinking होती है तो आप restraint exercise नहीं कर सकते. You jump and then you become angry. That's all. Correct? जैसे वो, there's a beautiful story of that man, he had bought a new car and he drove the new car on the road, got it out of his gate and somebody banged it. And somebody banged the car. Okay, now you can imagine singular thinking, right? But this man got out of the car, looked at the damage and said, now I can drive peacefully because it's already been banged. अब मुझे फिक्र करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Correct? So he was certain that something wrong can happen. It will happen. And with that idea, he drove the car out. It happened, and he said, "Okay, now I don't have to worry at all." Correct? अगर उसके single.
How peaceful.
Sorry.
How peaceful it is, but sometimes we are so adamant on showing our anger, only on showing. But how easy and simple things are, maybe.
ठीक है भाई, अब मुझे फिक्र करने की जरूरत नहीं है because the car has already been banged.
I can bang other cars as well.
I can bang other cars also. That I'm sure the man didn't think. But Nasti, this person had a violent thought just now. Dharmesh had a violent thought. Ki now I can bang other cars. Right? Now investigate, Dharmesh, where that thought is coming from. Where is that thought coming from? There is something layer by layer. अगर तू निकालेगा तो ये कहीं ना कुछ है. Some emotional cue will come out कि तुम्हें ऐसा thought क्यों आया. Correct? So
emotional delayering is very favorite for Dharmesh ji.
Emotional delayering करेंगे धर्मेश जी ने सीखा है. Then we have the third thing which is called polarized conceptualization. बहुत interesting है. We generally, our thinking is polarized, good, bad, right, wrong. Right? हम हमेशा अपनी सोच जो है either or, इसी में हमारी सोच घूमती रहती है. This person is a winner, this person is a loser, this person is strong, this person is weak. We speak in absolute terms. This is very dangerous, friends. बहुत ही dangerous चीज है ये. Because we are unable to see the grey areas. जो हम इस तरह से बात करते हैं ना, ये ऐसी है, वो वैसी है, तो हम ग्रे एरियाज नहीं देख रहे. Is anybody completely, totally, absolutely bad? No. Is somebody completely, totally, absolutely good? No. But we are thinking like that and we speak like that. This creates dissonance. इससे हमारा माइंड में dissonance होता है, distortion होता है. And so eventually we lead to anger. फिर गुस्सा आ जाता है हमें. Why can't you be? And why can't you be like this? मतलब she cannot be like that. What to do? She can be only what she can be, right? She can't be what I want her to be. That's not possible only. When I am not able to be who I want to be, how can I expect somebody to be the way I want them to be? It's not possible. It's an unrealistic thing. Unrealistic cheez hai ye, to expect also. And this itself causes polarization, polarized thought, and that can also cause anger. Overgeneralization is another way in which we cognitively disassociate ourselves. Dissonance hota hai hamare mind mein. So, overgeneralization बहुत common cheez hai. A women driver. धर्मेश जी कुछ बता सकते हैं विमेन ड्राइवर्स के बारे में?
लेडीज को तो चलाना ही नहीं आता, गाड़ी क्यों चलाती है?
धर्मेश जी बताएंगे ना, क्योंकि वो आदमी है, वो बता सकते हैं कि क्या थॉट आता है उनके माइंड में जब एक विमेन ड्राइवर लेफ्ट से क्या कहती है वो, she takes her car from the left. What happens? Over whatever. हाँ.
उनसे भिड़ना ही नहीं है, दूर रहो उससे।
उनसे भिड़ना नहीं है, दूर रहो।
उसमें कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, it's better that you remain out.
इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता। ऑल विमेन ड्राइवर्स के बारे में आदमी ये कहता है कि विमेन ड्राइवर्स आर बैड ड्राइवर्स।
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a neighbor who said that frequently to everybody.
जनरलाइजेशन है ये, और बहुत सारे
औरतों को तो गाड़ी चलाने आती नहीं है।
औरतों को गाड़ी चलानी आती नहीं है।
Yeah, so when I bought my gypsy, then I went for the Bombay Pune rally, and then when I rated in it, I went and told him first. I showed him the medal first. उसको पहले दिखाया।
But that medal was shown out of anger, by the way. It was not shown.
His daughter was very appreciative. बोला अच्छा हुआ तूने दिखाया, मुझे भी शायद गाड़ी चलाने देंगे।
Correct. So there are many generalizations that we have, right? जैसे हिंदुस्तानी बच्चे जो है, they are very good at maths. It's a generalization. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
I suck at it.
हाँ, but वहाँ के लोग ये समझते कि Indian children, they are very good at mathematics because they can say the tables by rote. और वहाँ के बच्चे तो tables जानते ही नहीं है, right? So this is a generalization. कि वहाँ के बच्चे tables नहीं जानते, मैंने अभी जो बोला, that is also a generalization because वहाँ के कई बच्चे tables जानते हैं. So the key to understand is we do speak like this.
For example, even jokes against Sardarji, isn't it? Or jokes that's general.
It's a complete generalization, है ना? But सोचो इतने centuries से अगर ये generalizations चला हुआ है, it has impacted our belief system. It's a very dangerous thing. Generalization बहुत dangerous चीज होती है because it does tend to make us angry. Okay? Then we have inflammatory thinking. ये भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। Inflammatory thinking, जब हम लेबल करते हैं लोगों को, you know, सरदार जैसे तुमने अभी कहा, that you know they are idiots or something. Sorry, but they are idiots. I don't mean that. I'm just trying to teach. Okay, so that is not true. बिल्कुल गलत है। आपको पता है ना कि even friends, when they talk to other friends in a party, they use cuss words for their friends. Oh, this guy, he's a stupid guy, or he's a asshole, or something like that. Okay? Why? ऐसा क्यों करते हैं हम? That leads to anger. That will eventually lead to some anger. Right? Because the next time this friend, gets some information about that friend who is whatever, right? He'll say, छोड़ो ना, उससे क्या बात करनी है? Belief systems start getting formed. This is inflammatory thinking. ये भी गुस्सा दिलाता है लोगों को. Okay?
Inflammatory thing and overgeneralization.
Overgeneralization. Yes.
बहुत एक जैसा है. होएगा. It looks pretty similar, isn't it? Or it will be completely two different aspects.
Inflammatory thinking is more when you use cuss words.
Okay.
You know, it's like you're kind of labeling somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different, right? It's specific to a person. Where you label somebody as whatever, that forms a thought process in your mind related to that person.
Okay.
And फिर क्या होता है स्मिता, that suppose in a party, you have left the party and you have gone home, and then a friend calls up and said, "Arey, yeah, you left early, but you know there was a big kind of hangama," and then you say, "Oh, that person only must have done it."
Right. So when it is
related, you labeled that person, no, in your mind.
Okay, got it.
Right. That is called inflammatory thinking. Got it? That can also lead to anger or certain other negative kind of emotions. Then you have catastrophizing. You have this idea that अब तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. catastrophic thinking. You think only negative. This is awful. This is terrible. This is the worst thing that could have happened to me. You say like that. You know, you speak like this.
Right.
And when you speak like this, catastrophizing the event, you will become angry in time to come. Because in your mind, what are you doing? You're giving food to your mind, which is negative, so negative. On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe it's 10. Right? That is called catastrophizing. That also leads to anger. So what I'm sharing with you is how our mind, okay, cognitively, how we have to restructure our mind. Because if you don't restructure your thought process, anger can be an eventual outcome. And the last is demanding and commanding, you know, where we want others to adjust to our desires. Right? Moral dictates, झूठ नहीं बोलना है, तुमने झूठ क्यों बोला? अरे यार, ऐसा थोड़ी कि तुमने कभी झूठ नहीं बोला है. But if somebody is telling a lie, especially a child, you're like, how can you lie? And have you noticed when you speak like this to children, they tend to lie more. जोर से बात करो बच्चों के साथ, झूठ क्यों बोला? Fear.
What if somebody is spreading lies about you?
It
happened recently to me.
That I've heard this, that you have been saying these things about me. Calmly बोलो उसको. You have been saying these things about me. Do you think they're true? उसी को पूछो. गुस्सा करने का मतलब नहीं है. Logically, cognitively, we have to restructure that person's mind also, ना? तो उसको पूछो कि इस तरह की बातें मैंने सुनी है. You think it is true about me? नहीं, मैंने तो ऐसा कभी नहीं बोला है.
Yes.
तो मैंने सुना है कि तुमने ऐसा ऐसा कहा किसी को. अच्छा तो तुम ऐसे करो, she'll get angry. जब तुम ये बात करोगी ना, opposite person will get angry. And you will see, she or he will say that, okay, then you call her. Okay, just hold on. I'm going to call her. Can say that. I'm going to just, मैं phone अभी लगा रही हूँ. Please stay online.
My God, if you do something like this, it really terrifies people.
Will get so angry and terrified that उस दिन के बाद she'll stop spreading lies about.
No, this is really terrifying to people to be called up, you know, and be answerable. And they're like, "Wow, इससे दूर रहो."
Correct, but the problem क्या होता है, हम ये करते नहीं हैं, because we lack courage.
No, actually, I did confront her. It's one of my relations. I did confront her very nicely. I told her, but still that anger is there still in me because she's close to me. So the anger, I've held it. I've tapped it out because I do tap.
So you can call her and say, you know, that this. Anyway, we'll move through the PPT. Then if there is still something, then you can tell me. Okay, because I have put a lot of things in the PPT. Okay, got the idea about the cognitive restructuring that we need to start doing. So we've already gone through this, the physical cues, the anger expression and all that. So we don't need to go through this again. Now, release your roar. बहुत interesting चीज है. Anger के साथ roar is something that we use. So anger can be constructive also. You can release your anger in a very constructive manner by utilizing the right words. हमारे एक शेर के पास शब्द नहीं है, तो इसलिए roars, right? Makes a sound. But we have words. हमारे पास तो शब्द है. हमारा शब्द ही हमारा roar है. So how are you going to release your roar, your anger? Plan very well. अगर आपको किसी को बात करनी है, तो आप plan करिए पहले कि what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? What words I am going to use? How am I going to look at that person? Where am I going to sit with that person? Where am I going to stand with that person? At what time am I going to talk to that person? All these things, because remember, if you are planning, अब कोई भी चीज प्लान करते तो चीजें अच्छी जाती है ना? कोई भी काम. हम जब प्लानिंग करते हैं तो हमारा काम अच्छा जाता है. Then why not plan our anger also, to express our anger also? अगर हम प्लान करते अपने गुस्से को रिलीज करना, तो it is possible that actually we'll come to a solution with that person, or that person will withdraw or say sorry. Correct? Now it also, the slide also indicates if you have done some harm to somebody, तो भी मेरे अंदर गुस्सा हो सकता है. How could I do this? How could I be so mean? Right? It's not always that somebody is doing something to me. I can also do some harm to somebody, say something rude to somebody. Right? तो उसमें मुझे अपने साथ भी डील करना है. So both ways we will have to plan. Without planning कुछ नहीं होता है. गुस्सा भी हम अच्छी तरह से रिलीज नहीं करते अगर हम प्लान नहीं करते. Like Mahatma Gandhi was an angry person, extremely angry with what happened to him when he was thrown out of the train in South Africa. You think he was not angry? Yes, he was angry. But what did he do? Created an entire movement, right? So there's no, anger can be easily directed. We can direct our anger. Some people, मुझे याद है, this actor, who's a friend of ours actually, Gulshan Grover. So Gulshan Grover and my husband are very good friends, and both of them began their kind of career together and everything. So Gulshan had an old car, okay, and he would take his old car to all the kind of producers' offices, and the producers would make him sit outside for hours together, okay, 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, and not even meet him after that. And they would tell him, come again tomorrow. And my husband tells me that I have not seen a more patient person than Gulshan Grover, which is so unlike his screen roles, right? Mm-hmm. But he's such a patient person. My husband is not. He said, I will never go and sit outside the producer's office and wait there for 5 hours. Forget him. But Gulshan would do that. He would sit outside for hours together, go back again the next day, hours together, sit there till he got his work done. He started with bit roles, and I told my husband, look, by sitting outside for hours together, look where he has reached. So patience pays. I've seen this with this person, with this actor. So anger, I'm sure he must be feeling very angry inside him, right? But he transformed it to patience. And there are so many people like this whom I have met, who are very angry at one point in their life, but then they slowly start working upon it, and then they look at the bigger picture. जब तक हम बड़ा पिक्चर नहीं देखेंगे, तब तक हम अपने गुस्से के साथ ही अड़े रहेंगे. That's what happens to us. So it's a very important lesson that we have to learn from people that we meet. One of the very easy ways to release anger is called to relax your stress triangle. There is a triangle, both our shoulders and our forehead. अगर आप देखेंगे, when you get angry, the first thing that catches is your shoulder, your neck and shoulders. This will become tensed before even your back becomes tensed. Okay? Yeah. And your head, because there's heat, like Shakuntala ji ne kaha. So this area becomes tense. So you just have to put your right hand on your left shoulder. Okay, massage it. The other hand, just massage the shoulder. And do this often in the day. Even, there's no anger, but just stress. Because stress यहीं पे collect होता है actually. पहले यहीं collect, बाद में कहीं और जाता है. Okay? And then you can just put pressure on your forehead. And when you put pressure, you are actually resisting. Yeah, your neck muscles will start getting stretched. Can you feel it? Forehead पे pressure डालिए. And see your neck muscles will start getting stretched. And now see if your shoulders are feeling better. So this is a very good exercise to do. So generally I do this. I putting resistance or putting pressure, and you will feel the neck muscle stretching. You can also put pressure here if you want, for your neck muscles to stretch here and back. ये immediately relax हो जाएगा, देखिए आप. It happens. Does it relax or not? Because you have to stretch them, no? So this is a quick thing. It's called relax your stress triangle. It's a quick exercise that can be done. The way that we need to release stress, anger that is related to stress, is exercise. Exercise is a must. Stretching is a must. Okay? Neck roll, shoulder shrug, even cleaning your home for that matter can actually relax you, because you hardly move your arms and do this movement, right? But when you do spring cleaning, आपके walls का, ceiling का, ये वो, you'll start feeling relaxed. आपने देखा है? जब आप spring cleaning करते हैं, and then after 2-3 hours you sit on the sofa, you feel so relaxed. Why? Because all the muscles have been stretched. Massaging yourself is a great idea. Okay? Standing body roll. Stand and then you just roll yourself around. It's a great idea also. So stretching exercise is a must if your stress and anger is to be released. Now there's an anger control plan. So you've written the exercise bit, but you can have this time out is a great idea. Just take time out. एक दिन चले जाओ घर से बाहर. Eat popcorn, go and watch a movie, go on the beach, go swimming. Just tell your family, today is my time out day. I'm getting out. And just do that, Deep breathing, of course, meditation, progressive relaxation is a great exercise to do. Self-hypnosis, just telling yourself, at the count of 1 to 5, I'm going to relax myself. 1, my feet are relaxing. 2, my arms are relaxing. We'll do a small self-hypnotic relaxation just now. Exercise is a must. Monitoring self-talk. I'm going to share what's the time? Oh, it's already 9. So what I'll do is I'm going to share that worksheet. Okay, use it and see if it can help you. Humor and laughter is a must. Pets, जिसके पास pets होते हैं, they tend to kind of, I guess, I hope, get less angry. Music, of course, is a great way. Talk it out. Call up somebody. Just say, hey man, I'm really angry. Can I just speak to you for some time? And just let it out. Yeah. Call up a friend and just say, you just have to listen to me for the next 10 minutes. Can you do that? And just blast out. Get it out if you want to. And quit being a world cop. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. ये मैंने इसीलिए लिखा है because मैं ज़्यादातर लोगों को देखती हूँ. ये कचरा फेंकते हैं यहाँ पे. ये क्या है? The world is coming like this. People are doing this. अबे तुमको क्या है? तुम अपना घर संभालो ना. Huh? People get angry, when they can't do anything about it. क्या आप कर सकते हैं कुछ इसके बारे में? No. Why are you wasting your energy? Right? If you want, write about it. Have a blog and write it there if you want to. Correct? But what are you discussing, arguing, and then getting angry? And this happens, in parties. I've seen this. There'll be a group of people. Everything is going well, okay? They're having a nice drink. They're enjoying the music. Suddenly one person will start. तूने news देखा? And then the other will, क्या हो रहा है यार? And suddenly the discussion will start getting so volatile about things that they cannot do anything about. Okay? And, at the end of the party, you wonder, kya ho raha hai is group mein? Somebody will say something which disagrees with your belief. Then you are in trouble again. Then there is shouting and screaming and yelling, and violence will also take place in such places. Why are you trying to be a cop? What are you going to gain by this? Nothing. करना है तो आप एक blog लिखो, go and plant a tree if you want, right? But don't just start off. See, anger for no reason. How we are unnecessarily getting angry is what I'm saying. Correct.
I have felt, I'm sorry, but I've always felt that such people, when they're like at the party, they're being World Cups, they don't really want to do anything about it.
Whether
they
they
just
want
to win.
to do or they don't want to do. Is party the place, first of all, to discuss all this?
Exactly.
No.
No, because it has happened to me. They go like, हमारी देखो, हमारा area इतना गंदा हो गया. And like, चलो municipality पे पास जाते हैं तो they're like, अभी time किसके पास है?
Correct. It's just unnecessary.
चलो group बना के जाते हैं. They're like, अभी कहाँ जाएंगे? अभी time नहीं है.
That is what, na? Quit being a world cop. You're not. You can't do anything about things, right? So anger goals, जैसे मैंने कहा है, 1 to 10. Please map yourself regularly. It will really, really help you. Okay.
मैम मैं एक चीज जानना चाहती थी, मॉनिटर सेल्फ टॉक. बहुत सारे क्लाइंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जो सेल्फ टॉक के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं कि वो बोथ साइड खुद ही टॉक करते हैं और अपना एक वर्ल्ड बना लेते हैं सेल्फ टॉक का. कि वो खुद ही मतलब ब्लेम करते हैं दूसरों की तरफ से, खुद को ब्लेम करते हैं, फिर खुद ही आंसर करते हैं, फिर ब्लेम करते हैं, फिर आंसर करते हैं कि मैं ऐसा बोलूंगा, वो ऐसा बोलेगा. तो इसके लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं सेल्फ टॉक के लिए?
तो मैं ये शेयर कर रही हूँ आपके साथ में. Please open the document. I've shared the document. Please open it. So just open the document, and you can even kind of download the document if you want. I can even share the document here, so we can look at the exercises that you could be doing. Okay, so just hold on, please. Can you see the document?
Yes.
Okay. So just hold on. I'm just going to make it a little. Just hold on. मैं वापस शेयर करती हूँ. Okay, now I'm not able to make it out, but okay. So how do you change negative to positive? It's a very nice worksheet that I've just given you. Now, one is labeling. We all name our experiences, like it's bad, or it's a great challenge, I'm never going to be able to do it, right? Now, there are 3 steps written here. Pick a recent upsetting experience. Describe it in a few words. So anybody can tell me of a recent experience and describing it in a couple of words. I think we can take the experience that was spoken by Zora, where she got really upset and angry about, somebody not doing the work the way she expected them to do. Zora, if we can take that experience. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So that is a upsetting experience that you shared, right? And you described it also in a few words. Now, is there a positive name you can give it? Can you give some positive label to that experience? Or if it happened to someone else, what other positive names would you give them? It's very easy to give somebody advice, right? So suppose if the same thing somebody told you, what would you tell that person positively?
Well, if somebody did this to me.
No, if somebody said this happened to me, what happened to you happened to her and said, I really got upset and this is what happened to me, what kind of positive advice would you give that person, or what positive name would you give that person?
I'd probably tell her to do the same thing, but in a more calm way.
Okay, so what would you tell that person? Like I said here, we tend to label experiences as being critical, bad, a great challenge, this is never going to change. So, in a few words, what would you tell that person to think of that incident? How would you like that person to label that incident? Got the idea, Zora? Label
it was unnecessarily aggressive. The point might be right, but you could be less aggressive about it.
Still a better label, a positive label. Yes. Anybody who's raised their hand? Yeah, go on. Urvi, you've raised your hand. What kind of positive label or name can we give this person who's having this upsetting experience?
Okay. So I thought I am supposed to share my
Okay.
experience.
All right.
Okay.
Urvi, hold on. Let's just get through this positive name first, okay? So, Zora, what would you like to tell yourself the next time a negative word or a negative statement comes up in your mind, which is going to lead to anger? How would you like to tell yourself? What name or what word would you like to use?
Chill.
Huh?
I'd tell myself to chill.
Chill. Yeah. Good. Chill. Yeah. Chill. That's a better word, right? Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, Zora. Just close your eyes for 2 seconds and just think of that incident.
Okay.
And just think of yourself telling yourself, chill.
Okay.
And how does that feel?
Much better.
Much better, yeah. So the first step, changing negative to positive, is the label needs to change. Moment you change the label, that the word that you are speaking to yourself in your mind or even outside, you may find that you can control your response. Instead of getting volatile, your response can be controlled in a positive. This is how you change your self-talk.
In fact, now that you tell me about it, the thought that came to my mind was that if I went back in time and I met myself when I was about to blow up, I would just tell her, Zora, ek kaam kar, ghar ja, have a lemonade, थोड़ा relax कर, उसके बाद भी यही बोलने का मन हो तो बोलना, लेकिन probably होगा नहीं.
So lemonade, the object lemonade or the juice lemonade, keep it with you regularly.
Good idea.
Lemonade near you, close by. Yeah, see, you have immediately connected to something else also, which can calm you down. Correct? Like a cold lemonade. Okay. We'll just go through the 4 and then I'm going to ask somebody else to. Now, the second is let go and release. How the self-talk that we are talking about. You must often let go of dreams. Sometimes we have sapne hai hamare, pure nahi hone wale, suppose. Let go of people. You have to let go of your life. You have to let go of your, sometimes you have to let go of a part of your body. Maybe you have to go for surgery and whatever it is. So let go is part of life. You let go so many things, right? The key is letting go allows you to get on with your life when something is over, right? Letting go helps you to get on with your life, whether it's a surgery that you have to go through, or you have people that pass away, or you have dreams that are not going to be fulfilled. When you let go of it, you get on, you move on in your life, right? Now somebody can share anything that you have the need to let go of. Urvi would like to share this now. Something that you need to let go of.
Actually,
like now?
No, somebody else can share in their life.
Yeah, but let go now or like in the past?
No, whatever. Somebody will tell us now. Let's see. If
just me, Dr. Trupti. I just mentioned that I have still got anger. Although I spoke to my my sister-in-law about it, I still have this anger that I'm holding.
Okay. So you have to let go of that. Okay. Now, the second step, just look at it. Imagine that each one is really going out of your life. How do you feel? So your anger, what else is there that is connected to your anger about this lady or person? Anger is there. What else is there?
Hurt.
Hurt, okay. So there is anger, there is hurt. What else, someone?
Fear can also be there.
No, but let her say. Na? Let Deepthi say, yeah. So there's anger, there's hurt. Deepthi, what else is there?
Why did she say it? Why is she spreading lies?
Yeah, so some amount of bitterness and resentment about
yes, you
the
can
person.
say. Yeah.
Bitterness and resentment is there. Okay. Now I want you to close your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to now look at these four things: anger, hurt, bitterness, resentment. Okay. And I want you to give anger, like let's have 4 different balloons with 4 different colors.
Okay.
So what is the balloon for anger that you're going to have? What color balloon?
Red.
Red. For hurt?
Blue.
Blue. For bitterness?
Green.
Green. For resentment?
Orange.
Orange. Now just visualize these balloons. Visualize the red, the blue, the green, the orange. And you can decide on the size of the balloon also.
Decide on the
size, how big the balloon you'd like it to be. Okay. And as you decide on the size, notice which balloon has the largest size or the biggest size. Take your time. Take 15 to 30 seconds to allow the emotion and the balloons to get associated.
Hurt.
Hurt is the largest, okay? Now I just want you to notice that the hurt balloon is the largest. And I want you to expand it further. You can make it bigger. And notice how large is that balloon becoming.
It's just larger than the others.
It's larger than the others. And what has happened to the other 3 balloons? Are they looking smaller?
Yes.
I want you to make the hurt balloon very large, so that the other 3 balloons become inconsequential. The other 3 balloons become inconsequential. Does that happen? Yes.
Yes.
Now let's focus on the hurt. Now I want you to just allow yourself to notice that this balloon of hurt has become really large. How are you feeling when you see this balloon now?
I'm just smiling.
And what is it that's making you smile?
Just looking at the balloons.
Okay. And what would you like to do now with this large, big balloon?
Just prick it.
Okay. So, would you like to prick it and gleefully, smilingly?
Yes, I've done it.
All right. And now look up. Are there any balloons now?
No, just the 3 smaller ones. They're just small, very small now.
Very small. What would you like to do for them? Are they important?
Let go.
Let go. All right. So just let go. And as you let go, how do you feel? How does it make you feel?
Lighter.
Light. Right. Good. So let go of each of these emotions. You release them. And notice, what is your mind telling you? What kind of self-talk are you having once you have let go?
At the moment, my mind is blank.
Not blank, relaxed, calm. So we can say these words, right? Label it. Label your mind as being calm, relaxed, light. Do these words make sense to you?
Yes.
Right. Wonderful. So open your eyes. Right?
Thank you.
So this way, the let go and the labeling, both of them can change your self-talk. But the idea, everybody? And then there are, of course, two more techniques that I've given you, your belief and faith. So can you tell me the three positive things about that person?
She's hardworking.
Hardworking, very good. What else?
She's hardworking for the family. She's brought up the family, I would say.
Yeah, she's hardworking. So what else? She's kind of responsible.
Yeah, she's responsible.
She's responsible. What else? Let's look at another positive word.
She's financially brought up the family.
So she has made her family feel financially secure.
Yes.
So look at the three positive things you're telling me about the same person. Right? Hardworking, responsible, made her family financially secure. And how does that make you feel about that person?
Better.
As you've let go of your own hurt, now you're able to perceive that person differently, right?
Yeah.
Right? So your belief can change about that person. If you from today, think of that person as being responsible, bringing her family financially secure, hardworking. The next time when you think of that person, you may not actually focus on the hurt, but you may focus on these positive qualities. Right? Because everybody has something positive.
Yep.
Right? So this way your self-talk can start changing. Got the idea? And then, of course, we have silent talk. Sometimes we don't talk. Sometimes we just close our eyes and then we think of some nonsense happening in our head. So, can everybody close their eyes for 30 seconds and observe what your mind is talking? Close your eyes for 30 seconds and observe what your mind is talking. Okay. So, what's the kind of self talk? Yeah. Anybody would like to tell me what was your self-talk? Was it positive? Was it negative? Was it just relaxed? There was no self-talk.
And I was thinking that such beautiful aspects of human beings that you teach us should be like, you should continue doing is that psychological thing. We need like more of you from you. And this in second kya bhi dinner khana hai.
Yeah, very nice. So we will continue doing some.
Yeah, ma'am. Because people who don't have the psychology background as such academically, we desperately need it, ma'am. Like in a very comprehensive way, not in a very elaborate, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Okay, so अभी क्या हो गया इसको? So we spoke about. Can you all see the slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you'll have understood what I told you about self-talk, right? And I've shared the self-talk thing. You can work on it. The other thing is forgiving yourself. Sometimes हम गलती करते हैं और हम अपने आप को माफ नहीं कर सकते. That also creates anger. So confession works. Find a healing ritual. मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ, some healing ritual you may have. You know, you write a diary, or you paint, or you do kind of mandala work, or you pray, or you chant a mantra, or you ask for forgiveness, or you go to a temple. Each person has their own healing ritual. So do that. Okay? It's important to confess your part in the action. आपने जो गलती की है, you need to confess your part in the action to somebody. You can even write a letter and go to a temple and keep it there and say, God, forgive me. You know, I hurt. Or you can even call that person and say, I'm asking for forgiveness. Please, I'm sorry. You can. ये करना भी ज़रूरी है. आपका गुस्सा अपने आप निकल जाएगा. Correct? Sometimes you need to reframe and retell the story. Like we just did just now. ये जो हमने अभी किया है is called reframing and retelling the story. I could have asked Deepti, okay, now you tell me the story again with those words, positive, you know, so responsible, financially secure. So she can make a new story of this lady. And maybe this little hurt that was caused by her, she may actually be able to actually rationalize it. Something could have happened. Forgiving yourself is very important. Act instead of react. Act. Act on that hurt. Act on that embarrassment. Act on that disappointment in a very positive manner instead of reacting. And it's very important to take action to help others who are in your own predicament. Sometimes I'm going through trouble, and then I find my friend is also going through trouble, and I go and help her. I'll feel better. It happens all the time, right? When you help people who are going through the same problem that you are going through, you can actually find a solution for yourself. And that's one of the reasons I've put our human library, which is coming up on 16th of June. उसका एक वीडियो हमने सुंदर सा बनाया है मैंने. And I want you to hear this. Please enroll for the human library and speak about your pain. And maybe somebody will be helped because of that. Listen to this beautiful song. So please register. This is our 4th session of Human Library, and it's been just amazing. There has been so many breakthroughs during our last 3 sessions, and this time our topic is identity crisis. And I think all of us at some time in our lives must have gone through some identity crisis, which could have led to a lot of negative emotions within us. So it's time that you talk about it in the Human Library. We have it for an hour, 7 to 8 on the 16th of June. 30 minutes are given to the book. That means people who talk are called books in the Human Library, and the others are called listeners. And we have 2 or 3 listeners in every kind of breakout room, and we have books. We've already got about 11 books who are going to be talking, and it's such an amazing experience to talk because it's a non-judgmental room in which people are listening to you, and you are just ventilating things that you want to speak about. You haven't had the chance to speak about it, and now you have the chance. So this is something that I really love, and we do it every three months or something like that. So we have our next on 16th of June. Please register for it. We have a separate WhatsApp group, of course, for this. But we have an email. You can email on humanlibraryindia12@gmail.com, and we'll send you the link, the WhatsApp link to join the group, and you can be part of the book. You can also listen, but we like more books because it's a great idea. So many different experiences, and so many ways in which people have tried to manage their emotions and their life. It's such a wonderful way to, like I said, take action to help others who are in your own predicament. This is why I put the Human Library video here. So please join us for the Human Library, okay? And so little prayer. We think, act, and feel not on reality, but on our perception of reality. What we hope to heal are our perceptions of our parents, loved ones, and others. We don't heal others, we don't heal relationships. We heal our perceptions of our relationships. That's really what we do. Okay? So, thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was again so good being there on Thinking Thursday.